Hey folks, Gwe. This is my second talk about this picture. And it's actually less about this picture and more about what this picture inspires in me. Because this picture represents, it's a visual representation of one of the reasons why I make these videos, one of the reasons why I continue to make these videos. Generally speaking, mainstream media doesn't touch religion very often. It doesn't get into sharing a whole lot of stories about what's going on in the church or what's going on in this particular religious group or that particular faith group. It really, the mainstream media often just leaves religion alone. It's too touchy a topic. Unless the story that they're going to run will elicit a very, very strong emotional response. And that's why you see, I believe that's why you see mainstream media offer so many negative images of the church. You see them talk about those prophets. You see them talk about those teachers that are out there who are still claiming that the election was stolen, who are still claiming that God is going to restore former President Donald Trump to power, that God hates this group or hates that group or hates this practice or hates that practice. Those stories elicit a great deal of anger. Those stories in many ways affirm and validate how people out there in the world see the church, the assumptions that they have about the church. It strengthens the negative experiences that people had with the church. We do a really, really horrible job. The church as a whole does a really, really horrible job of standing up and saying, these kinds of things do not represent us all. We are not all like this. We do a really horrible job of saying, this is not Jesus. This is not the way of Jesus. This is not the teaching of Jesus. This is not the path of Jesus. This is not the call of Jesus. This is not the hope of Jesus. This is not the promise of Jesus. This is not who he is. It is not who he was. It is not the world he hoped to bring into place. We leave the world with the impression that this kind of image is an accurate representation of what the church, the whole body of Christ, actually represents. And if this is what the world believes the church is, if this is what the world believes the church is all about, if this is what the world believes the church cares about, if this is what the world believes Jesus is like, or Jesus' teachings are like, why would anybody outside of the church want anything to do with us? What kind of people would gravitate to the church if this is what they think of us, if this is what they think we're about, if this is what they think we stand up for, if this is what they think our mission is? Why would anybody want to be a part of us if this is what they think our love is? The answer is nobody. Well, the answer is simply that no loving person would want to be a part of a church like this. I do these videos in part. I speak against some of those prophets in part. I speak against some of those teachers in part. I speak against some of the things the church has done in the past and is currently doing. Because I want to offer a broader understanding of what the church is. I want to offer a counterpoint. I want to offer another image of the body of Christ, of the man we follow, of the promises that were made, of the call that Jesus actually put into our lives. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord's face be made to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord's countenance be lifted up to you. May you always know the peace of being in the Lord's presence. And I pray that you and I will offer that counter message. That we will, in our actions, and in our words, and in our behaviors, and in our love, offer the world another, deeper, more compassionate, more accurate impression of who Jesus Christ really is and who the church is supposed to be. Amen. Nemultus.